Hey, it's Adam Biter coming at you live with the 12th in our long-running album talk series. It is so good to see you all, especially after a nice, long, fun day at real world school for the first time in a very, very long time. It's so good to be back. And hey, Sean, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope everybody is doing all right. I hope everybody's making a nice, smooth transition back to real school, or if you're doing all virtual, that too. That's good. Uh, uh, yeah. Just so as soon as Peyton joins, we will we should be able to start it up, and then we'll be good to start. In the meantime, how is everybody doing? Do you have any recommendations for music, or do you have any questions for me personally? Or anything, just put them in the comments. Alright. Maybe if I send it to him. It's going really good, Sean. Thank you so much for asking. I had a nice newspaper meeting today. Oh, you can do the newspaper meetings too if you want. You're on the Google Classroom. I just had a bunch of cool classes today, and it was really fun in general. Let's see. Strange. Alright, I just gotta wait a little more, and then hopefully we should be good to start with Peyton. So the album we're doing this week is called Fore. It's by Huey Lewis and the News. It's a great album from the 80s. It's a really nice one. Yeah, this is strange. Yeah, what's going on? Huh. Oh no. Oh no, that's sad to hear. Peyton's phone is having trouble connecting to the live show. So we're just gonna wait for him. In the meantime, I could play some music. What does anybody want to hear? What do you want to hear in terms of music? No, don't worry, he's not dead. He's just having trouble connecting. Oh, Peyton's here. Hi. Alrighty. Let's see. Hi, Peyton. You there?
Hello,
Yeah.
Adam. I'm sorry. The internet connection was slow.
That's all right.
I had to reboot my phone. So
That's okay. I was just playing a little music for people in the meantime.
yeah, I noticed. I noticed you got a request to play Billy Joel. Hello, Koopa Ninja.
Sean. That's Sean.
I
That's
know.
Sean Snyder. Yeah.
Uh,
So
is
how
the
are you
lighting
doing? How was your first 2
I'm
days of
doing okay.
real school on Thursday and Friday?
Well, it was different. I'll tell you that. It was real different.
I actually really enjoyed my first day of real school today, so
That's
it
good.
was
That's
fun.
good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I even got to finally eat in the senior lounge, even though there was nobody else there because it was early release and I was just sticking around for my brother. How's your
okay.
brother enjoying high school? Bryson, I know, is also
He's,
joining the high school.
he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's adjusting as best as he can. I mean, this is his
Okay,
first year after all. And this is our
that's
last
good.
one, and it sucks that we have to spend it like this for now, but well, c'est la vie.
Well, we still got our album talk series, so we're doing Fore this week by Huey Lewis and the News. It was released
Correct.
in
Yes.
1986.
Uh-huh. And this is our 12th show. Can you believe it already?
I really cannot believe it.
12.
It's kind of amazing that we've come this far, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is. It is. We'll have to find a way to keep it going because I know our schedules are pretty different now, especially since we can't, like be in school at the same time. So, but
Yeah.
we'll make it work as best we can. I mean, everybody has to figure out this new schedule. It's a big adjustment for everyone. So, but
Yes.
anyway, would you like to get started?
I'd love to, yeah.
All right. So I was wrong. I remember I thought it was the opposite, but we start off the album with Jacob's Ladder. That is the first track on the album.
Yeah. This is a great one. And did you know that this one was written by Bruce Hornsby originally? So
Really?
he wrote it. So this one was written by Bruce Hornsby, and what happened is he played it with his band, and he didn't really like the way it sounded with his own band, but then he heard Huey Lewis's band, and he thought that it would sound really good if it was played by Huey Lewis's band. So he actually gave the song to Huey Lewis for his band to play. And then later, on one of his later albums, he actually did do the song with his band. So even though he originally wrote it, his version of it came after this version.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
he wrote it before his version came out. Was it a year after, or was it the same year?
it was 2 years after. This one came out in 1986, and Bruce's
Oh,
album with Jacob's Ladder on it came out in 1988.
okay. So, but that's pretty cool how we contributed to that. I can kind of see that.
And then
Interestingly enough.
to return the favor, Huey helped produce Bruce's first album
Oh, really?
in 1986, which was the same year as this one, actually.
Which
His
one?
first album didn't have Jacob's Ladder on it, but what?
Oh, well, what was the name of it?
The Way It Is. That was his first. It was like his big breakout.
Okay.
It was like the one that made him the most famous.
Yeah.
Then his second album in 1988, that was the one that had Jacob's Ladder on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is his version a more like stripped down version? Is it more piano centric? Because this has a
Maybe.
lot of.
It's probably got a little bit more piano. It has more of that Virginia heartland sound that Bruce pioneered in the late '80s. It sounds more like that. Whereas Huey's version is more like doo-wop and upbeat, maybe.
Yeah, he seems to like that style, which is
Really
fine. I like
does, and it's a great style. It works so well with his voice and with the instruments in the band. Yeah, can't complain. Anyway, this version is really good. I love this version.
I like the idea of the like step by step, rung by rung verse of it. It's catchy, it's fun, and it kind of has like a symbolic nature to it. Like
It really does, yeah.
You're coming into your own.
I also like the line of yeah. I also like the line, "All I want from tomorrow is just to get it better than today." That's a really good line.
That is.
I love that line. And that really details what how we got to live our lives now in this new normal. Like how we got to just take it one day at a time and just focus on doing better than we did yesterday.
I mean, that's all you really can do. It's more of a.
Got on?
Yes, Father. Just checking.
Hi, Mr. Schwab. How you doing? How's he doing?
He's fine.
Did he enjoy his birthday?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you have your birthday this week. We gotta sing happy birthday to you.
No, you don't have to.
We're singing.
You don't have to.
Everybody sing at home. 3, 2, one. Happy
Yeah.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peyton. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush. But thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. That was fun.
All right. Well,
I hope you were singing at home.
yeah, I can't tell. But
Yeah, I wish I could.
that's all right. Well,
Yeah.
so I think we've talked about Jacob's Ladder enough. Number 2 is called "Stuck with You." This was one of their pretty big hits.
I love this one. I think this might be my favorite. It's got such a nice lick, and it's one of the
It
most
is.
perfect songs where it has a different key in the verse and chorus. In the verses, it's in C major, and in the chorus, it's in D major, and that contrast works really well. And I especially love the modulation that he uses to take it from C major into D major. He uses this really unique chord pattern.
We were down by all the rest. You're the same, like that kind of.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. I'm so happy to be stuck with you. It's
Oh,
it's a really great song, and it's such a feel good song. Like too, like I love this song. I even referenced it in another song that I wrote called Joy Mella. But
it's kind of a cute like couples song.
It
in
is.
A way.
It's very cute. It's very adorable.
All right. Well, so we switched from being stuck with someone to finding love and Whole Lot of Lovin'. And you can really feel the doo-wop with this one.
You really can. It's a strange song. Like, isn't there a song by the same name that was by Led Zeppelin? Or who am I thinking of?
No, that's a Whole Lot of Love. It's a bit different.
Yeah. Oh, so it is Led Zeppelin. Okay.
No. It's not the same title, though. It's not the same song.
Yeah,
it's a different
it's a slightly
song.
different title, but it is by Led Zeppelin. I thought so. I wasn't
there's
sure.
a song called Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin, yes.
Yeah.
But this is different from that completely. But it's still a catchy tune, I'd say.
It is a very catchy tune. I love this one.
All right, but I don't know if there's a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it does have a nice vibe to it. I love it.
A nice vibe to it. Now this is where the album really comes into its own. These next few tracks. Number 4 is "Doing It All for My Baby."
This was a great one. Did you see the Did you see the music video for this one?
I saw it once, I think.
It's hilarious because the first 3 minutes it doesn't have any music, but basically like the band's car gets stranded on this road and they have to walk a lot to like a haunted house, and then they find a mad scientist there, but he's like played by Huey Lewis, and he's like trying to like bring his wife back to life in like suspended animation or something, and it's such a cool music video. I love it. And then at the end, they somebody touches something on the wall, and it explodes, and it reveals it's really just Huey the whole time. And then the girl wakes up, and she's like, because she didn't. I don't know. It's kind of a weird abstract music video, but I really loved it. I thought it was a great music video.
I think that was the MTV era of music videos where they got really kind of interesting and experimental and strange.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the Money for Nothing music video from Brothers in Arms, that's another fantastic example of a music video back when the art form was really in its prime, I'd say.
Could have been VH1 too. There was another channel. There were other channels that did music video. You don't really see that often anymore, but then again, we have the internet.
I know there's a channel called Axis that like airs a lot of concert footage, like in concert movies, which is kind of cool. I like that channel. But there's not many channels that are just solely dedicated to music anymore.
Yeah, even MTV isn't MTV anymore. It's just
it's got all these Jersey shows on it.
Yeah, RTV. It's reality TV, not music TV.
Basically. Teen Mom 2, Love and Hip Hop. I hate all those shows.
Yeah.
I've seen the commercials.
I don't watch
no interest in watching them.
No, same. I mean, it's all very tedious, but the song is great. This I think my mom really likes this song too. So
Yeah,
this is
it's
a
a
good
great
one.
one. It has a similar vibe to "Stuck with You." I feel like.
You could do it for a wedding song, possibly.
Oh yeah, good wedding song or "Stuck with You." Both of those would work well for wedding songs.
Well, I don't know if "Stuck with You" would probably be the most appropriate
I
because it
mean,
seems kind of it takes
it'd
like
be
a
funny if you
cynical
wanted to
view,
like
like
be like a jokey kind of like thing. Like, I'm happy to be stuck with you.
I'm
At least you're
stuck with
happy to be
you
stuck with
now.
each other instead of depressed to be stuck with each other.
I don't know what it is. I mean, he takes a very interesting look on life. And that goes for this next song as well. Arguably one of the most famous off of this album
Oh
for a
yeah.
few reasons. Hip to be square.
This is a great one too because it's. I think I heard that from somebody from some sources that the album is like in some ways kind of like a not maybe not a concept album but like kind of an examination in contrast to his earlier albums of like the
Oh,
subtle
really?
joys of married life, like settling down and like building a home and a family. And I think that
Okay.
both Stuck With You and Hip to Be Square kind of primarily focus on that in some ways.
Yeah, in a way, they do. I mean, this is just a fun song to dance to too.
It is really fun.
Uh, but I mean, the main crux of it is basically just to make the best out of a humble life. Really, is what it is.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
You don't have to be hip to to. I don't know what to call it. I mean, it's all in the title basically.
Yeah.
And
It's a great
actually,
one.
this song was even more popularized by a little movie called American Psycho in 2000. It's not used for the reason you would
Oh.
think, though. It's
But that's like
yeah.
14 years after the release of the album.
Well, yeah, but the film I think is based on the period of the 80s, so
Oh,
it's kind
that's
of.
funny. Yeah.
But
Well,
it doesn't take a lighthearted view like you would see on something now.
I see
It
what you
really
mean.
it's pretty dark, but the song is still catchy and great.
Oh yeah, super catchy.
Uh, you've got that. All right. Number 6 is "I Know What I Like," and I like this song.
Yeah, I love this one too. I thought it was really good. It reminded me of a Toad the Wet Sprocket song. Lyrically, at least, it reminded me of a Toad the Wet Sprocket song called "I Will Not Take These Things for Granted," where he just kind of lists like activities that he really loves to do and that he's not going to take for granted anymore, and that he really likes these things.
Okay. So
Yeah,
really, it's just a list of things he enjoys doing, which,
yeah,
that's basically what we've been doing for the past few days, telling our teachers what
essentially.
it is we like to do. I've still got to do
Yeah,
a thing for English on that.
I'm working on my presentation too.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Okay.
just got the assignment today. I'm really excited to do a presentation about myself.
Yeah, I think you have a little more time than I do, though. I've got to figure out what exactly it is I want to say about myself. It can be a video or something, right? Can it?
Well, what do you
Or is it
have?
more
Like,
a presentation
do
thing?
you have something that's going on that's like a big time constraint on you?
No, no. I'm just well.
Oh,
There's other
okay, good.
work.
I was just checking to make sure
There's other
you weren't too
classes,
overwhelmed.
duh. But
Yeah.
no. I'm just wondering what she wanted it to be. I mean,
Yeah.
it
I'm
can't
making
really be
a
anything
PowerPoint.
longer than. Oh, you're doing it in PowerPoint. Okay. Or you could do slides. Google Slides
Well, that's
works
what I
too.
meant. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
I use them interchangeably. Technically I'm using Google Slides, but I just call it PowerPoint because that's the OG
that's
basically.
probably a good idea.
Microsoft PowerPoint,
Um,
yeah.
and I'll have to figure out how to submit that thing because I just got all the info today on the classroom.
Yeah. But I'm
But
excited for that project. In general,
yeah,
I'm just really excited to see what this future holds.
yeah, this is a good song, and
It is a great song, yeah.
this is kind of the turning point for the album in a little way. Well, I don't know. Could you call it the turning point of the album a little bit?
I could, yeah. I mean, it's the side B opener. Yeah, I could definitely call it that. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, very good song. Definitely recommend if you not a lot of you know about it, because most people know Huey Lewis from like Back to the Future and probably American Psycho too. Those are the two places people.
Back to the Future, man, that's such a throwback. The 80s movie to end all 80s movies. Back to the Future. That's a great film.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any 80s movie that can measure up to that one.
I don't think so. I think it's just because it's so, it's retro, but it's retro in two ways.
It's retro in the way that it was created in the 80s, and that the fact that it was basically a flashback to the 50s.
Exactly. So it's a nostalgic movie looking back on nostalgia.
Yeah, essentially. Double nostalgia.
Yeah.
Kind of like A Christmas Story, too, that it was made in the 80s, flashback to the 40s, that sort of thing.
It's sad. You don't really see a lot of movies like that anymore. You see a couple every now and again.
Well, there was a great TV show on ABC for a while called The Kids Are All Right, and it was like a flashback to the 70s, but then they canceled it. Oh, and there's still the one called The Goldbergs, and that's a flashback to the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen that show before, so... I mean, that's where the nostalgia is going to be now. So.
Plus, it's nice to see like Jewish representation on TV because they're like a Jewish family, so that's nice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Goldberg's a pretty Jewish name, and they celebrate Hanukkah and stuff. Oh. So they're funny.
Yeah, but they're very like strict.
They're not super religious. I would assume.
No. But number 7 is "I Never Walk Alone." So this is a very interesting song. I wouldn't say it's one of the most memorable songs on here.
I felt the same way about it. It wasn't super memorable. It was a cover from a guy named Reed Nielsen. I don't even know who he was. He was like part of a one-hit wonder duo in the 80s called Nielsen Pearson.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them.
I have never heard of them. I mean, it doesn't mean they're not good, but I've just never heard of them.
Yeah, but you know... I mean,
this one was okay, but I agree with you. It certainly was not. It was far from the best song on the album.
Well, sometimes the good thing about a covered song is if it's done really well, if it's done poorly, it makes you want to go back to the original artist. If it's done really well, it introduces it to a whole other group of people, a whole different generation.
Yeah, essentially.
And although this isn't one of the best on this album, I still think it belongs on here.
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, there's not much to say about that. Now, number 8, I liked a little better. "Forest for the Trees."
Oh yeah, "Forest for the Trees" was a great song. I was reading about this one because the lyrics are perhaps some of the most nuanced, and it came from Huey Lewis answering fan mail from these teenage fans that were saying like their music like changed their lives and like gave them hope in times when they were really depressed. And he was like giving them advice like just to like focus on the good things in life, like see the forest for the trees, that sort of thing.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
It's actually an interesting inversion of that turn of phrase because usually people will say don't miss the forest for the trees. Don't just focus on the little things and miss the bigger picture. But in this version, Huey's actually saying that if the bigger picture is getting you down, then focus on the little things that make you feel better. And that's really the way to pull yourself through these sad situations. So I actually like that a lot, that he inverts that phrase to say, like, sometimes it is best to focus on the little things.
I know, and I think even now, especially, this song is very relevant. Because, I mean, we're all facing the same thing, and we kind of have no choice but to face it together. But you know, that's what we are. We're the United States, or at least we're supposed to be. I don't know. It's a mess, but
yeah,
we're not here to get political. We're here to talk about a great album, and that's a pretty good song. Getting close to the end, though. I really like this next one though. This is the only a cappella song on the album.
Well, I love a
but it's done
cappella. I
very
did
well.
like this song, yeah.
Naturally,
This is
it's called.
Yeah, I loved this one, yeah. It had a great feel to it, and I think the a cappella was great. Their voices really are kind of what stand out with this album. I mean, the instruments are all like, but really when you get down to it, I mean, Huey Lewis himself, he doesn't play hardly any instruments. He plays harmonica basically, and that's kind of it.
And
but
his
he's
voice.
a great singer, and then his voice melds so well with the voices of the other band members, and I think this a cappella is maybe where Huey's truest talents shine.
I agree. I think he has a real eye for the specifics when it comes to that imitation of the doo-wop style, and him and his group have very good intonation, and it just all comes together so well.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
and well, plus they can play a pretty good guitar and keyboard too. Should mention the music too on this album.
Yeah, some of these guitar riffs on this album are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. All right, and but we're getting close to the end now. Actually, we are at the end. We're at the end now. Number 10 is called "Simple as That," and I think this is a nice song to wind down the album too.
It is. But I would make the argument that it actually should not have been the last song on the album, because in general,
really?
Making the last song on the album the most political on the album is not like a good. I mean, the whole thing is basically about kind of like critiquing the system, like saying like, I mean, it's talking about how you just go through your day with this 9-to-5 job and just do all these drudgery things and just go about your life, and then all the bosses are making money. It's a very political song. And I mean, as good as it is, I do think it belongs on the album, but I think it was misplaced. I think it should have come either before. I think maybe it would have been better if he went "Forest for the Trees," "Simple as That," and then "Naturally" is the closing song. Or maybe he shouldn't have ended with the a cappella one.
I mean, if you're talking about like order, I would think it would probably be a better idea to put "Simple as That" at number 9 and then end it with "Forest for the Trees," because then you have the cynical view of the workplace, but then the positive view of taking the little things out of life.
So put the negative view first and then the positive view, and have the a cappella come before it, because that's like kind of a special song. So maybe "Naturally," "Simple as That," and then "Forest for the Trees." That would have been good, I think. That would have been better.
But I'm no record producer.
Songs, but all three of those last 3 songs are great. I'm just complaining about the order in which they were placed. I think it could have been better ordered.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of get it. I was kind of zoned out a little bit when I listened to this song too. I'm like, oh, they just came off of "Naturally," and now I have this like somber song, and I'm like, oh, why did they have to end it like that?
It's the lyrical rhyme scheme in this though is fantastic. I love that they come up with a bunch of different rhymes for that. Like you have a dog and a cat, you wear your bowler hat. He says something like that.
You just rhymed it again. That
was that. I most certainly did.
But that's fine. But I'm no record producer. I don't know. Maybe they had no say in that.
Maybe they didn't. Unfortunately,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think it's a great album.
All right. What would your rating be for this album?
Probably a 9.5 out of 10.
You know what? I think I'll say a 9.2. I really like it. I think it's really good. I don't know. There are some albums we've done before this that I think stack up better. A little higher.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But overall, I think this one is good. Now, I know you reviewed his latest album, Weather, a while ago.
I have to say this one's a lot better.
Up to that? Okay. I mean, that was in his later years.
Nice, but to be fair, I was cutting Huey a lot of slack because of his disease. Like, I mean, it's horrible that he's come down with this disease and he can't make music really very well anymore. But I mean, the newest album was a great way to close out his career. but it was not nearly as good as this one. I mean, this was him in his prime, just absolutely rocking out and
Exactly.
really feeling the groove, and I mean, it's really takes you back.
He's kind of the perfect mixture of I think that's why they kind of picked him for Back to the Future, because he's that perfect mixture of a throwback to the 50s, but he's also got that 80s rock and roll style too. So it's just kind of a great culmination of those two different styles.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for our 12th album review. Wouldn't it have been funny if we did it for the 4th one?
I think that was great. That was a nice show. I know we were saying that next we should pit a Rush album against a Tragically Hip album and see which one wins. We could try them out.
I already have an idea of what would win, but to be honest, I don't have a lot of either Rush or the Tragically Hip, so both of them I mostly have their greatest hits, and that's about it. But
yeah,
I do have one album from both of them that we could try, and I know you probably have one of those as well. So
yeah, I'm wondering if we should do In Violet Light or if there's a better album we could do for the Tragically Hip. I'm not sure. I mean, we could certainly do that one if you want.
Should we try their debut?
Up to Here? Do you want to do that one?
Sure.
From 1989? Ooh.
Sure.
That'd be a good one to do, yeah. We could do that one.
All right. I really like the one song that's on there, New Orleans is Sinking. I really like that one.
How about 38 Years Old? Do you like that one? That's also on Up to Here.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Is Born in the Water on that one, too, or no?
Born in the Water was on the next one.
Ah, okay. Yeah. All right, so we'll try Up to Here by The Hip, or we can do something by Rush. Should we do their accomplished seminal masterpiece, 2112? We
could do 2112, yeah. That'd be a great idea.
I think I know who would win if we did that one, but if it does end up being Rush, then we can do Up to Here for the next review.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do a Canadian 2-week special or something like that. It'd be fun.
That's true. We could try that. And then I forget what day is Halloween on? Is it
October 31st?
Well, I know what day it's on, but what
actual day of the week? I have no idea. Let me try and think. 21st, 28th.
Because I'm thinking if it was on a Monday, we could do a special review or something,
5th, 12th,
like a horror album.
26th, 9th.
You don't have to think about it.
Saturday. I think it's on a Saturday. I could be wrong, but we could certainly do one that week, though. What would we do, though, for Halloween?
I don't know yet. We can think about that for a little while. I just wanted to come up with something. Because I don't know how many people would be going out. I don't think anyone's going to be doing trick-or-treating this year. I don't do it anymore anyway, but I don't know how many people would even want to.
Yeah.
So you have to wipe off the candy every time, and it's not going to be much good after that anyway. So it's probably best just to buy your own candy and sit at home and watch a horror movie or something.
Probably.
I don't know.
Or if you're like me, it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
That's a good one too. You could do that.
And then You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown, which is the one that is on the same DVD, which I love. I think that one's a great one.
That was not really a very Halloween.
It also makes me feel a lot better about the election because it takes me back to a time when the election was actually an inspiring event and not just depressing.
Oh God! Don't even, please.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I can't vote yet because I don't think I would want to this year anyway.
In some ways, I wish I would. In some ways, it's more depressing that I can't vote because it makes me feel powerless.
Yeah. Fight the power.
Fight the power. Yeah. Well, next election, I'll be all 18'd up and ready to go. as they say.
Well, we'll see. Actually, you'll be older than that because the next
I'll be 21 up and ready to go.
election would be
2024.
yeah, 2024. Yeah. Oh my
I'll even be old
goodness.
enough to drink by the next election. Yeah.
You'll probably
Anyway,
need, depending on the candidate.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But
But yeah, no, thanks so much for doing this with me again, Peyton.
no
I'll see you next
problem.
week. And I'll let
I'm
you know
glad
who
we
wins
can.
the poll so that we can listen to the album, whichever way it goes.
Right.
And
I'm glad we can
I'll
take
see
some
you.
time off from our busy schedules, and be able to do something like this.
Yeah, me
Anyway, I know
too.
you've probably got some work to do. I've got a little bit of work left to do. So take care, and I'll see you next Monday.
Bye. Thanks, Peyton. Have a great week. Bye.
Oh, and
Okay, I
thank
got
you
it.
everyone who watched. Thank you everyone who
Thanks.
watched today.
Bye.